lighter stuff that's, protects you from the sun. They've just got a wide variety. And then obviously they've got, their gaffs and bait nets and a lot of different high quality tackle items. The AFTCO kind of came out of the yacht outfitting when they started with their roller guides, and it was the big sit-down rods, and then it just transformed into the long-range tuna sticks that we had back in the 80s and 90s. So they've really been a cornerstone of the saltwater industry, and we're going to be working extremely closely with them. They're right across the aisle from us. And and their tackle bags are amazing. They have different sizes and customizations on their tackle bags for every imaginable situation. When they first started into that tackle bag thing, it was kind of for the private boat or yachty guy. And, I think that they've evolved into realizing that, the sport boat guys all have tackle needs too. And so they've kind of custom made things for our guys. I still have my original from the Marlin tournaments, my Marlin bag, but it was like the only bag they had, and it didn't fit every need. So they're in our building. Iser is in our building. Who am I missing? I know there's got to be some other ones. Anyway, we've got like a bunch of the top guys in our building. And then I think they have a building down the way from us that kind of keys in more on the freshwater aspect, which obviously Orange County is the center hub of, a lot of long range fishing, Catalina and Clemente, and a lot of private boat fishing up there. Dana Wharf sport fishing and all that. But they do have an element at the show of freshwater. And then they've got the hangar, which is a super cool building. It's literally shaped like an old military hangar, and I don't know if they patterned it after that or it had some use back in World War II. I don't know, but and they've got just a variety of everything. And one of the vendors that we deal super closely with is Deckhand, and I don't know if everybody has seen the Deckhand kill bags. They have taken and put some features in those that we've never seen in a kill bag before. They don't leak. They have handles on both ends, so that they're easier to maneuver around. I mean, we never used to worry about our kill bags. You throw some 20-pound yellowtail in there, that everything was easy to deal with. And now you're throwing, you put a
200-pound tuna and a bunch of ice in there, like.
And so the maneuverability and the durability of the stitching is, up a notch. And now they've come out with these amazing tackle bags, which we have really latched on to. They have reel bags, which kind of evaporated during like the whole COVID era. It was hard for people to import any type of soft bags. And, they're a pretty local company, and we deal really closely with them.
I can't tell you how many requests I've had from long range guys specifically that are looking for a bag that holds a big reel, a 30-sized reel or a 50-sized reel. And they've just, like you said it best, they kind of evaporated. If you're that guy that's been looking for a bag for storage and then transport, man, swing by the booth and check out that Deckhand.
You're going to have those on sale?
Awesome.
Everything's on sale.
Everything's on sale.
Yes.
Okay. Well, hey, Rick, let's jump into the phones.
You got it. Well, they're jam-packed. Everybody's excited to talk to Doug. And let's start it off up at top with line one. We got John calling us from Escondido this morning. Hey, John. Thanks for getting us started.
Hey, John.
Morning, John.
Hey, no problem, guys. It's always a great show. I'm watching you on YouTube and listening to you on the app.
Nice.
Great,
So
John.
the best of both worlds.
I guess I've got to try that YouTube when I'm not on the show because everybody just raves about it. Yeah.
Hey, so my question is electric reels. Are you going to have a selection of electric reels? And then I just want to give a plug to Dawson and Associates and how great they are. Both Cindy and I, we travel and we have them, and they're very, very helpful. So
well, Kristy will be in on the second hour,
so
and she's listening now, so we'll be sure to pass that along.
Yeah, we're going to have some electric reels up there. To be quite honest, we brought the full selection of everything we had last year, and they did not sell, which is, a little bit odd to me, but I know that the way the fishing's been the last couple of years, it's been a lot more, anchoring up at the Cortez and throwing bait, dropping a jig down deep at night. And we didn't have a lot of that private boater fishing. And I'm have all my toes, fingers, and eyes crossed that we get that local fish, because the private boater kind of struggled the last year or two. And that's where you're talking about, I'm sure, is wanting to have an electric reel on your boat. Penn has come out with 3 new electric reels. They purchased Hooker a little while back, and they have a lot of expertise in electric reels, and they have a consolidated, all-in-one reel. There's a 30, a 50, and an 80 size, and they're going to be good for, from rock fishing up to flying the kite, that type of thing, even super deep water, black gill style fishing or something like that. They are actually going to have in our booth anyway, a pretty darn good discount on those. And then they're offering a Carnage 3 rod, which is close to a $300 rod when you buy one of those. And
like what kind of discount on electric reel?
10%.
Okay,
and
that's a good
you're going to get
discount.
your line for free.
That's about another like $100 worth right there, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the price range of those reels, but I think they're in like $700, $800 range like that.
And you're going to get a $300 rod
and a $300 rod. And then
so they're almost paying
with
you
that
to buy
particular reel, you would go over to the Pure Fishing booth, and they'll fill you up with Pro Spec Spectra line.
Wow.
So, and I mean, when you fill a reel like that, you're talking $150 probably of line. So
wow.
Yeah, you're getting $400 in free goods, another $80 off. So that's going to be a pretty compelling deal. You start, it doesn't sound a lot until you add up the actual dollars. And I mean, you're talking $500 of discounts on an $800 reel. It's pretty compelling.
That's pretty rad.
Nice. Cool.
All right. Well, I had a great, thanks, John, for the call. I had a great text come through. It says, good morning, everyone. I'm so excited about the upcoming PCS show. I had a question for Doug. I'll be looking to pick up a new live bait combo for local half and full day fishing at this year's show. I was really considering a Trinidad 16A, but I'd love to hear the recommendations from the tackle guru on reel, rod, and line. And that's from Ralph and Menifee.
Well, that's a great question. Everybody has to get their first rod and reel. And what you really have to do first is define the type of fishing you're going to do. So you said, half, 3/4 day, full day fishing. So you have to imagine you're going to, be doing anything from shallow water rockfish to calico bass to yellowtail, barracuda, bonita, halibut. Maybe on a full day trip, those tuna get close enough. And I mean, it's kind of the sky's the limit for those tuna. We've caught cows on a 3/4 day, or what now we call a full day trip. But realistically, you're talking that school size fish going kelp patty hopping. And so you will need eventually a quiver, a variety of rods and reels for more situations. But yes, a Trinidad 16 is a really good starting point. Most of the line you're going to fish would maybe be 20 to 40-pound test. You could morph into a 2-speed reel. And in that case, I would probably recommend a Talica 10 for the people that are more into the 2-speed reels. Both are good casting reels. However, a Star Drag always casts better. And if you're in a situation where you're fly lining anchovies and sardines, if it doesn't warrant a 2-speed reel, you're probably better off with that Star Drag. So I really like whatever research you've done that the Trinidad 16 is a good call. And then probably a 7.5 to 8 foot rod, maybe a CalStar 278 heavy would be like a 25-pound rod, or you could even go up a little heavier, maybe a Graphiter 800. I like the longer rods for the casting, maybe an 800 medium or a medium light, somewhere in that range where you can fish, that 30-pound test.
I got to throw one thing. I don't want to spill the beans too bad, and I feel like I'm about to.
No, spill them.
I feel like I'm about to.
Because I know exactly what you're going to say.
Like I said at the beginning of the show, we have 2 rods that were made exclusively for the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth for this year's show. One of those is literally your new rod. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's perfect for exactly what you're describing.
Yep.
And I'll leave it at that. I won't say too much more. I know I'm not supposed to even say that, but if
Is that one of those CalStar?
I'm going to say,
exactly.
I'm going to say it is 7.5 feet.
Yeah, it's perfect
and you
for what
can
you're
fish
talking about.
25 and 30 on there perfectly. it would couple perfectly with the Trinidad 16 or the Talica 10 2-speed. So yes, all of the above.
Yeah, it's something that like we all of us had talked about and what we wanted in that rod and how we wanted it to be, and as as John does, he put his magic to the table and just nailed it first try.
That
Perfect.
guy's a
You know what I mean?
genius.
Like
Yeah.
it was supposed to be, okay, you guys pulling this and how do we want it different? And that's it. First time.
Yeah,
Perfect.
give
roll.
him a mandrel and a rolling table, and you got magic.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We're going to be checking in with catch reports, more phone calls, more great times. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup with Doug from Fisherman's Landing Tackle on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
The best just got better. Shimano is proud to introduce the all-new Talica 20A and 25A reels. The Talica series is Shimano's flagship 2-speed lever drag reel. It sits at the very pinnacle of the offshore world. The Shimano's Talica success is driven by its durability and spec attributes, allowing the series to differentiate from other lever drag reels within the market. The Talica is built around a cold-forged machined aluminum one-piece frame. The all-new Talica 20A and 25A now boasts Infinity Drive. Infinity Drive employs 2 drag washers housed in the side of the reel, allowing for an ultra-smooth, powerful drag system, while at the same time increasing winding power under a load as much as 40%. There's also a new lower low gear. If your utmost concern is performance without compromise, Talica 20A and 25A are the reels for you. Available now at your local Shimano dealer.
The PCS show is coming, and Gamakatsu has an amazing show deal for you. Buy any 2 packs of Gamakatsu hooks at participating dealers and get 1 free. That in itself is an amazing deal. But get this. Purchase $30 of Gamakatsu products at the show and get a free pair of Gamakatsu pliers and a cinch bag. So get the buy 2, get 1 free deal plus the free pliers with a $30 purchase at participating dealers while supplies last, only from Gamakatsu at the PCS show.
A top fleet and superb fishing is what Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, it's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limit, Elgato Dos, Pride, Tribute Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open party schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay. Gas prices are going up, up, up. So now more than ever, you need Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. Pull up to the newly expanded Summit Gasoline and get low gas and diesel prices for your car, truck, and boat. They can now accommodate 24 cars and trucks to fuel at the same time, plus 12 diesel boats, plus 100 pounds of free ice with a minimum 35-gallon fill-up. Easy in and out, too. Step into the Summit Bistro and enjoy what Martha and her crew have for you on things you can use. Fresh-made burritos, sandwiches, salads, along with beer, beverages, and, of course, always free ice. So many Let's Talk Hookup listeners have taken advantage of Summit Gasoline's low prices, great service, and free ice. They have become the largest seller of fresh gourmet ice in Southern California. Summit also sells frozen bait and fishing licenses 24 hours a day. Summit Gasoline. Low prices, friendly staff, free ice, and easy in and out with your boat and trailer at the San Diego Sports Arena.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning, talking fishing, talking PCS with Doug. What a great day.
Yeah, great day. And time to talk about what's biting out there, Rick.
You got it, man. It's been nice having some of this sunny weather, and I'm sure biting fish that goes along with it. We're going to head up to Dana War Sport Fishing, find out what's biting. We got the man, Brian Woolley, standing by this morning. Today, that report sponsored by Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. It is the place to fill up your car, your truck, or your boat with the lowest gas and diesel prices. Also, did you know that Summit is the place to get the lowest prices on ice and snacks for your trip? Over 40 snacks, all for 89 cents. Now you can also get those great Bombazo burritos made by a renowned chef. Choose from 6 different types, including smoked bacon and eggs, and Finn's favorite, the chorizo. You also get a great deal on ice, only $3.99 for a 25-pound bag of ice. Plus, you get 100 pounds of ice free with a 35-gallon fill. Summit Gasoline, free ice for Let's Talk Hookup listeners, and always the lowest prices and gas at the San Diego Sports Arena.
I was there the other day. Not only like 30 or 40 cents cheaper than the place right down the street for me for a gallon of gas, But also, they are so into fishermen there. They have like fishing hotspot maps for like $2 with purchase. They have the ice. Okay, so the Landing raised their price again on ice. Not Summit, $3.99 for 25 pounds.
$3.99.
$3.99 for
I can
25 pounds.
Assure you that is the best price you're going to find.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
good.
Bar none.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's crazy, and free ice for Let's Talk Hookup listeners there. So
Wow.
can't beat it.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, Summit Gasoline is the spot.
Well, speaking of great spots, how about we go to Dana War Sport Fishing? We got Willie on the line. What's up, Willie?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good stuff. Pre-PCS.
Yeah, buddy.
Hectic, I'm sure, across the board. Yeah, for sure. Hey, as far as the fishing goes for us this week, you kind of hit it there. You mentioned on the break. We had some decent conditions this week. We saw some 60-degree water in a couple areas, which was certainly a welcome with that sunshine. And with that, the half-day zones did see a little bit of improvement on the calico bass fishing. Some decent surface action on that calico bass. Kind of midday time frame as the sun had a chance to kind of get on the water and warm things up. That really helped. Fly-lined anchovies on the lighter monofilament lines, I'd say fish the best for those guys. There was still some action on the sliding egg sinker setups and the torpedo sinker setups, reverse dropper loops and whatnot. Caught some bass and sheephead. Kind of good to have that back in the mix for the guys that like to fish shrimp and target some of that stuff. So fish caught on that. Saw some nice sheephead taken on the anchovy as well on the dropper loops. 3/4 day stuff. Still kind of in that whitefish, sculpin, sand dab mode. Decent fishing still to be had on those guys. Rubber lure setups, again, I'd say fish probably best for that sculpin. And then something resembling like those old Lucanus jigs fish really well too. There's some lures out there that look like squid or little octopus. Guys fishing those at the bottom are doing well on the sculpin too. And then the halibut action, still some good stuff there on our derby front. Our February winter caught a fish. It went just under 16 pounds. So good one there. Not super big, but big enough for him to win this killer prize pack that we had for him, over $1,000 worth of stuff. Rods, Skylar rod, reel combo, coastal sunglasses, like all kinds of killer stuff from our sponsors there for sure. And then the Clemente had another nice halibut yesterday on their morning half day trip. So in some different zones, seeing some stuff there as well. So just across the board, obviously this week, it looks like there's some weather that's going to, be a factor as well. So pick your days. I think everyone's probably planning on days off of being at the show. We'll be there. We'll be in booth 179 in the Los Alamitos building.
That's the
So
spot.
I'll be there Thursday, Friday, and we'll have guys there all through the weekend. So we're looking forward to some time to see some friends there as well. So good week for us. Just pick your weather day, and we'll get you out there.
That's awesome, Willie. Well, great job. Great report. We'll look forward to seeing you at the PCS show this week. And like you say, nice stretch of good weather and get right back onto that good fishing, man. Great job. Appreciate it very much. And we'll see you, starting on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll be there Thursday. So if you guys want to book, hit us online, danawharf.com. You can link us there right through the Let's Talk Hookup page as well. Click on our banner ad, and that'll take you there. You can hit us at 949-496-5794. Or better yet, stop by the booth at the show.
Great call, Willie. Appreciate it very much. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. See
Thanks,
ya.
buddy.
Let's jump back on the phones, Rick.
You got it. They are absolutely packed, as you would expect with Doug here. How about next up, we talked to Vinny. He's on line 4, calling us from Carlsbad this morning. Hey, Vinny, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, so I'm kind of curious. I haven't heard a lot about this show, and I know in years past I would see flashes on TV of Fred Hall show. Is that show completely gone? That's one question. And then the other question is, where would I go to see a list of all the shows that you guys either do or your sales? Sometimes you do Day of Docs, or where do you guys list all that, or you just do them as they come up, or do you have a whole calendar where I could see it for the year?
Yeah. So the Hall show was held in Long Beach this year. I did that show from 1982 until 2020, and then COVID wreaked havoc with a lot of things. So that show has morphed to still has its roots in fishing, but an outdoor show with a lot more various outdoor activities. This PCS show has been percolating under the surface for, I believe, about a dozen years, and it is now maybe a little more aligned with what we do, being in Orange County. There, and the magazine that they have, Pacific Coast Sport Fishing, it's pretty much centered around Southern California saltwater fishing, and that's exactly what Fisherman's Landing and Fisherman's Landing Tackle are. It's saltwater fishing and tackle in in Southern California. And so we started doing that 3 years ago now, and it is a good fit for our business. So we do that one. And then we do Day at the Docks, which will be April 13th this year. And so if you're talking specifically, when do we do something that is involved with discounting fishing tackle? So that'll be the next one, April 13th. And then we do our Tackle Day promotion the first Saturday in November every year. We've done it 20 years now in a row. And we have about 20 to 25, again, very strategic saltwater Southern California vendors that we already deal with in our store. So Day at the Docks will be more of a general show encasing all 3 landings. They'll have a lot of different things going on that are, a little bit outside of just hardcore saltwater fishing tackle, but that is the root of the show. Tackle Day is only saltwater fishing tackle dealers. As far as other shows that we don't do any other shows. There are sportsman shows and boat shows around the country. So you'll see in Southern California a lot of boat shows that key in on both fresh and saltwater boats. But the ones that, there is, I believe, there's one in San Diego that is, probably more yacht oriented. But as far as a resource to find other fishing tackle sales, I just don't know what to tell you on that.
Our Instagram would be the best place to go.
It
if you
is.
want to know what Fisherman's Landing's up to in terms of sales and participation, I think our Instagram is the best way to find out where we're at. We always try to do that.
Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. I want to mention the Royal Star actually has 4 openings on October 25th through November 5th, 11-day trip. 11-day trip on the Royal Star with openings. That's never happened.
Yeah.
And that's like prime time. October 25th through November 5th. Prime time.
I mean, prime is
11 day.
Like
that couldn't be better.
Exactly.
So they must have had a big cancellation.
No question.
So if you want to go on the Royal Star, check royalstarsportfishing.com. You can book it right online, or just call Tracy in the office and she'll set you up. And when we come back,
we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including, as promised, another special guest. We've got Kristy from Dawson Insurance joining us, and we got a whole lot more of your phone calls. You stay tuned. Another hour coming your way of Let's Talk Hookup on 97.3 The Fan, Facebook, YouTube Live. It's going to be fun. We'll talk to you there and that Let's Talk Hookup app.
It may be winter in Southern California, but those of us who live here know it's a great time of year to go fishing, and certainly not time to put your gear away. This is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay, the one-stop shop for a great day on the water. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. This is the ideal time for bay bass fishing, and I get the inside scoop from Johnny. Heck, he will even rent you one of our killer blue skiffs. This is also a good time to go work on your reels, and Doug is the man for that job. If big largemouth bass are your bag, nothing beats East County Bait and Tackle. They have all the right stuff and live bait for a perfect day on the lake. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle is super cool too, for both freshwater and saltwater tackle. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle is on Broadway in Lemon Grove, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Launch Ramp in Mission Bay. Check danalanding.com for more details.
Captain Jamie Tennis from Season Sport Fishing here. For the past few seasons, a dart-styled metal jig has come into play in a big way for tuna offshore or even rockfish down deep. AFCO's crossbreed jig has quickly become the go-to for many since it came onto the market. AFCO's crossbreed jig is good to go right out of the package with a 4X treble hook, heavy-duty split rings, West Coast colors, and sizes 60 gram to 120 gram. Pick one up today at your local tackle store or learn more on AFCO.com.
You know, whether you're going fishing, diving, or just having fun on the water, there's nothing more worth doing than messing around in boats. So let me ask you, are you ready to upgrade your ride? Boat and Motor Mart of Oakland is your exclusive Western U.S. dealer for Steiger Craft. Created for inshore and offshore waters and laid out with the serious fisherman in mind, Steiger Craft has built a solid reputation for performance and excellent rough water handling. If adventure on the water is what you live for, now's the time to invest in your passion. Call Boat and Motor Mart of Oakland at 510-437-1444. To look at the whole fleet of Steiger Craft online, go to steigercraft.com. Now's the time for a rugged, reliable, and fast Steiger Craft from Boat and Motor Mart of Oakland.
One rod has set the standard for serious saltwater anglers worldwide, and that's CalStar. From the rugged dependability of the West Coast series, the lightweight strength of the Graphiter, or the performance of the GG series, all CalStar rods are handmade right here in Southern California of the finest materials and craftsmanship. So, if you want your tackle to be the state-of-the-art tools to get the job done right, it's CalStar. Available at fine tackle dealers.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
This is Jake Cronenworth.
And the Padres it's 5-3. The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan and Odyssey Sports Station. This program is sponsored and produced by Let's Talk Hookup. Opinions and offers expressed during this program are not those of Odyssey or 97.3 The Fan. Sometimes they tell some pretty hefty fish stories. We don't know if they're true or not.
And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock Cod, Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 97.3 The Fan. Pete Gray here, along with Rock Cod, Rick Maxa, and the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup right next to Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. We have Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle talking about PCS and deals and Fisherman's Tackle and all the events and everything else. And joined now in the second hour by Kristy from Dawson Insurance, the travel insurance experts, the boat insurance experts. She does kind of everything insurance for you. And great show today. And boy, it's been lively. Lively little first hour, and now we're gonna have an even more lively second hour.
You're not kidding, man. It's been a crazy jam-packed morning on the phones. Everybody's just so excited with PCS going on and all the great deals and information going on. If you want to join us, it's 833-288-0973. One more time, 833-288-0973 is how you reach us on the phones, or you can send us a text. The text the show option, again, only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app, which is a free download, and you can text in your questions to Kristy or to Doug. Just make sure you include your contact info as well. Just a name and a phone number is all we need in case you win today's big prize. We mentioned it already this morning, giving away such a cool prize to one lucky caller or texter at the end of today's show, and that'll be decided by a coin flip, whether the prize goes to the texter or the caller side. But again, one lucky caller texter is going to win a full-day trip going fishing on board the Liberty at a Fisherman's Landing. Plus, you're going to get 2 tickets to the PCS show in Costa Mesa coming up this Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah, continuing our catch report now. Gundy Gunderson, our surf guru, is on the line. Good morning, Gundy.
Hey, Gundy.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Doing
great,
great.
buddy. Good morning.
What's going on, Gundy?
Busy. So I'll keep it quick here. Real good sign this week. Good tides. Our water temperature is 58, 59 degrees. A little uneven weather, but that's all right. We're rolling in the right direction. We'll start up at Santa Barbara there. Hook, line, sinker reported consistent perch bite, lugworms, mussel, gulps, grubs. Just about everything working. Real nice quality fish, 8 to 12 inches, a few better kickers. One of their shop regulars, an 11-year-old, caught his first ever legal halibut on a drop shot fluke, 22.5-inch fish. So take a kid fishing. A few other spots, Black Rock, Tohuegas, Galita was another good area. Those guys are seeing Corbina up there, not getting any bites. And a few sand crabs starting to show. So those Corvinas seem to winter there. I had a good report from Balboa Peninsula. A guy picked up 12 barred perch there to 2.5 pounds, fishing the Ned rig with the little sand crab head to it. I mean, sand crab rubber on the end of that. And then at Doheny, I had a 6-pound striped bass taken on a hard jerk bait. And down San Diego way, Pacific Coast reported a 2-pound, 5-ounce surf perch, won their surf perch derby. That was taken on a Lucky Craft. And then something that'll make all the halibut guys' ears wiggle. 38-inch halibut out of the surf there at Carlsbad on a Lucky Craft. So that's we're heading into March. We got a grunion run around the corner. It's time to think halibut, if you ask me.
Man, what a nice fish for a lucky guy in the surf. That's awesome. Good for him. And yeah, I like it, Gundy. We'll take that report just fine. 58-degree water. Who cares? It's biting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's very good fishing.
Well,
all right, guys. Good show.
A great report, Gundy. Appreciate that very much. And we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Have a good week.
Thanks, Gundy.
Hope we get a little cameo Gundy appearance at PCS.
Oh,
this
he's
year.
going.
All right,
yeah,
good.
Oh, yeah, he said he was going.
All right.
And also, don't forget, you're going to get a cameo appearance of Bill Varney for all your surf fishing needs. I know Bill's going to be a big part. He's going to have a booth there at PCS and doing a lot of surf fish. So check Bill out at the PCS show this coming week. And, of course, always for your surf fishing needs, check surffishtackle.com. All right. Phones are packed. And but first, we want to welcome Kristy from Dawson Insurance. Good morning, Kristy.
Hey, Kristy.
Thanks for good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, great to have you. What's been going on at Dawson?
Oh goodness,
everything
business as usual.
craziness.
Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. I think every time I think I've heard every question, a new one comes in. So I'm excited for today because I'm sure somebody will call
Some
it a
new questions.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, having just come back from a big trip down to Chile, we had the travel plan and the executive plan, and it's such a good feeling to know that, like, if something goes wrong, you are covered. Not only from emergency evac, not only from trip cancellation, not only from lost bags, but also your rental car too, right?
Yep.
It covers everything.
Yeah, just about. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
when you look at, of course, I get lots of questions like, is this covered? Is that covered? Is this excluded? And I like to send people the laundry list of things that are included, because it's so much more than just like, oh, if I get sick or if I, get injured. So it's, the executive plan, the deluxe plan, both the annual and the premier, all three of the annual plans have phenomenal coverage and give you a lot for the money.
Yeah. If you travel and you don't have it, you're
asking for it.
You're asking for it. That's all I can tell you. Doug?
Well, I want to give a little history about Dawson Insurance that people may or may not know. But Bob Dawson and his son were avid long-range fishermen for decades. And Bob still comes down. So he started insuring us, I don't know how many years ago, but at the landing and some of the boats. And of course, the magic secret sauce behind the scenes was always Kristy. And now she's running the show.
Bob was front man.
But he was, he was, but we got to see him a lot because he came down several times a year long range fishing. So this company is rooted in part in fishing, which really does make a difference. We all have insurance agents, we all have insurance companies that we deal with, but to have somebody that kind of understands where you're coming from and that has experience in the types of insurance that we deal in is really important. And, even just as recently as last week, insuring our rental truck and all the inventory that goes up to the shows. And
thanks, Kristy.
She just keeps us straight, because there's a liability if we go to that show and, heaven forbid something happens to that inventory, we're covered.
The guy that's driving our truck is a wild man.
Oh my God.
So
Vince?
No, it's me.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Whoa.
We had to pay extra.
And not only that, you cover not only my boat, my Steiger craft, but you cover most of the sport boats in Southern California, right?
A lot of them, yes.
Yeah.
And the ones I don't, I'm after you. So
Yeah.
take this as your warning.
And that's been a challenge over the years, getting these boats properly insured. It's outside the norm and to be able to get
especially if you go into Mexico.
Yes,
that's the issue.
To be able to get these boats insured properly is a godsend.
Well, think about the special things that they do at Dawson with the travel insurance, and especially some of the special ones that, trip interruptions and things like that. You're working with someone who understands what a long range fishing trip is, and the difference between losing a couple days or whatever it might be. You try to explain to somebody who doesn't, isn't familiar. Well, did you go on the trip? Well, did you come back from the trip? Okay, well, that's that. But if there was something that happened where you lost a certain amount of it, trying to explain that to somebody who doesn't have their roots in sport fishing, I mean, good luck. Kristy's part of the family here.
Well, yeah, there's 30 people on a boat, and if somebody has a medical emergency and you have to come back 3 days early and it's a 10-day trip, well, you just lost 30% of your trip.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and if you have the travel insurance, you're covered.
Right. Yeah. So if your trip is interrupted because you got hurt or you ended up having to go to the hospital down in Mexico, we've had that happen multiple times, and those guys are able to get a partial, credit from their insurance to help pay for their next trip, so they're not out 100% of that money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we talk about it all the time, but if you're going on a long range fishing trip, it's the most no brainer. It's very inexpensive in the grand scheme of all the things you're doing. And then just like Doug was saying, just to be covered is the total deal. Whatever happens, because life gets in the way of things all the time. Just to be covered it's
not expensive.
It's not at all.
It's not expensive at all. It's depending on your policy, like policy I have is $500 a year, and it's one of the more advanced policies, but the base policy is how much?
It's $280 for the base annual plan, which, a cup of coffee a month or so.
Yeah. And that covers you on every trip you do with the 100 miles from home throughout the entire year.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
No brainer kind of thing.
You got it.
Well, phones are packed. The texts are flowing through. Let's jump into it. Rick.
You got it, buddy. How about we talk to line 3? That's Dave. He's calling us from Anza this morning. Good morning, Dave. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, Kristy, such good information you always have on this travel insurance. My question for you is, I've got a bucket list trip coming up here in May. I'm going to be doing a raft trip down the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon. There's going to be a lot of whitewater on this trip, and I just wonder if your travel insurance would cover me if I needed an evacuation, being it's going to be in such a remote area on a whitewater adventure like this.
Great question, Dave. Yeah, absolutely. So again, anytime if you're on a single trip coverage or an annual plan, either way, that would be covered. If you got injured, they're going to medically evacuate you by whatever means are necessary. So if you're in a remote area, a lot of times that's a helicopter ride in, and those can get quite pricey very quickly. So again, one of the main reasons to have travel insurance is just for those unknowns. Like, of course, you're going to go on that trip, and let's hope we get to see lots of cool pictures of that rafting trip with no injury. But in the event that it happens, yes, that would be a covered event.
Wow, cool. Hey, Dave, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. I might add, Dave is going to be helping us out on our Let's Talk Hookup booth at the PCS show. So thank you, Dave, for being there, and it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, I'll stop by and say hi, Dave.
All right.
That's awesome.
Now, Dawson's not going to have a booth there, but you're going to be hanging out.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the show because I'm excited about it. I've been waiting for it all year. As soon as I heard about the dates, I booked my trip.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome.
excited.
Now, you have a great text, Rick.
I thought so. It says, good morning, guys. I love all this talk about gear. And boy, Doug, you really got my ears perked with the questions about fluorocarbon. My question is about fluorocarbon storage. My garage gets really hot in the summer, and I've heard from some people that you can store it in the fridge. I have a garage fridge right next to where all my tackle is kept. Is it true? Should I be bringing it inside the house? Or is that true? Or should I bring it inside the house where the climate's a little more controlled? That's from Rory and Lakeside.
Yeah, fluorocarbon is more durable than monofilament. So monofilament, you have to be maybe a little bit more cautious. But I live in Santee, and in the summer we get some of our 100-degree days, and I keep my fluorocarbon out there. The minute I buy the spool, I write the date on it. I keep it for 2 years, and then I replace it. It probably would last quite a bit longer than that, but I just like to put everything in my favor. And so I just put a date on there. 2 years later, I just buy it again. It's not that expensive, especially when you buy it from our booth at the PCS show next week. It's
because it's going to be a discount you can't even talk about.
Exactly.
Now, you always talked about discounts on fluorocarbon before.
I know, but
what's the story this year? It must be
you're
something
going to have
really
to go to
exceptional.
the show.
It's
that good?
Yeah, it's that good.
Man.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I don't know if we mentioned brands enough, but AFTCO Psycho, and we did talk about that, and Seagar, it just, the stars aligned, and we got some pricing that we haven't ever received before, and we're passing it along.
Ooh.
So we're still, you know, I mean, we're in business, and we're, you know, you just can't give things away, but
almost.
we're passing the discounts to the customers, and so it's a win-win for everybody.
Cool.
We had to buy an awful lot to
Yeah.
make this happen, and we did. And that's
So
what
you'll
we're gonna
have
do.
plenty.
We bought a lot of it.
All right.
I don't know, after the show today, we might not have plenty.
All right. Hey, Dean up in the 805 says he's coming to the show on Saturday. I'm going to the Shimano. I want to get a Shimano Tranx for throwing surface irons at Yellowtail. What size reel and rod do you want to use to really put the wood to those yellows?
Yep. So super traditional, and that's what I am. A 9 to 10 foot jig stick, 90J or 100J, you know, just to give some specific model numbers. Those are CalStar numbers.
That would be that new CalStar?
Well, I would certainly consider that the 95J. Also, I kind of like the Graphiter 100 mag. I don't kind of like it. That's my jig stick. It's lighter weight. It casts a jig as far as any other jig stick I've ever owned. They are a little pricier because it's a Graphiter, but I mean, that would be high on my list as well. That GG series has some graphite in it. So again, 90J has always been our go-to. They have the 95 coming out in that series, and the Tranx 500. Typically the way that I set mine up, I prefer to cast monofilament to the end of the cast. So I put 80-pound Max Quattro on there, leaving enough room for 100 yards of 40-pound triple X Iser monofilament. I don't use any fluorocarbon on a jig. You don't really need to. If you need a kelp cutter rig where you're fishing close to kelp and your yellowtail is going to bury you in the kelp, then I would do the Spectra all the way to the end with a short little piece of fluoro, which is more abrasion resistant than monofilament. So that's your setup, Tranx 500.
All right, very good. Hey, appreciate that text, and Tranx 500 is the best.
Yeah,
so sweet.
It is the ultimate.
You should see my 14-year-old grandson. I have, 3 or 4 jig sticks that I bring, and I've got Trinidad DCs and all this cool stuff, and he just grabs that Tranx and goes to town.
Yeah,
you can set your brakes on that so that you get enough free spool to cast your jig a long ways, but hardly ever get an overrun or a backlash, or in my case, it's called a professional overrun.
Yeah. Well, you're professional.
Well, let's jump back in the phones.
You
Rick.
got it, man. How about this time we talked to line 1, which is Brian, who's calling us from Wildemar this morning. Good morning, Brian. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing today?
What's up, Brian?
Question for you is one for Ricky, one for Doug. Doug, I'm looking for a BP 196 or a CalStar 196, but in a 9-foot version, for that A word, which is anchovy.
Yeah, I think the closest that you're going to find to a rod like that in a CalStar is going to be their 220, which is 8.5 feet long. They don't make as such an albacore style 9-foot rod, but you're going to be able to throw an anchovy an awful long ways with that 220.
Awesome.
There you
and
go.
Ricky, for you, is there any jig specials for jigs going towards the Bay of LA? Just a softball question for you.
Oh, it's funny. Absolutely. It's one of the things that we've kind of built a section of our booth around. The northern Baja, fishery for cabria and yellowtail, and that, is just becoming so hugely popular lately. And we put a big section of our booth around that. We made some really cool buys on some stick baits and jerk baits. We've got some really, really killer, like high end, good hardware, good paint job, like killer, like Yozuri baits that are that are, a lot of them are going to be down, $8, $9, things like that. Lures that are, you're used to seeing for $15 and $20 and $25. So some really, really aggressive discounts. And yes, lots of LA based stuff, lots of surface iron. And we just happen to have a crew of guys that are up there that just absolutely love it. Dylan, his family has a house down there. He fishes there all the time. All of the boys have their 2 or 3 trips planned. As soon as this show is over, like our vacation schedule, it just looks like Swiss cheese with guys that are all going down there to fish that Cabrilla. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of that in northern Baja surface iron lure casting stuff available for you at the show, Bri. And I look forward to seeing you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the call this morning. I have a great text here from Tom in NorCal. He says, great show, guys. I have 2 long-range trips booked in May and another in June. Is it too late to buy insurance for those trips?
No, that's a good question. It is not too late to buy insurance.
So he's already obviously made the deposit.
Right. So ideally, we recommend that you purchase your travel insurance within 14 days of making your initial trip deposit, just because that gives you a free additional benefit, which is pre-existing condition waiver. Meaning that if you had a pre-existing medical condition and that was a reason for a cancellation or loss, it would still be covered. But you can purchase travel insurance up to the day before you leave on your trip. I recommend always purchasing it sooner than later. There's really no benefit to waiting till later. Because you just never know what will happen between now and then.
So what does he lose? He loses that pre-existing condition coverage because he's already deposited on that?
Well,
what's that mean?
Yeah, if he made his deposit more than 14 days before he purchases his travel insurance, then what that means is he would not have coverage for if you've been treated for something in the last 4 months on an annual plan and the last 6 months on an individual plan. If you don't purchase within that window, then you do not have coverage for pre-existing conditions, something that you've been acutely treated for. So
in the last 4 to 6 months.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you haven't been treated for a year, you're good.
Yeah, exactly. But that also applies like we talked about. There's so many things that are covered because you're covered for not just you, but also your traveling companions, your family members. So again, if they had something that was pre-existing, you would have coverage for all of that if you do it in the first 14 days. And
so if he was traveling with somebody on this trip and that person got sick, and he didn't want to go on the trip without him,
right?
They could both get he could get their money back. Whoever has the policy would get their money back.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Pretty rad. All right. Well, hey, let's jump right back into the phones. This time we're going to talk to Darren. He's calling us from Menifee on line 4 this morning. Good morning, Darren. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, Pete, Rick, and Doug. I have 2 new Citrix Okuma low-profile reels, one for calico, one for yellows. They have small dual handles. How easy and possibly what price can I switch to larger handles? And can you do it at the PCS show? And also for Kristy, how much to cover a 5-day trip for 3 to Cedros?
Great questions.
You want to go first, Kristy?
Well, I don't have my calculator in front of me. If you're purchasing an annual plan and you're going down to Cedros, depending on the cost of your trip, you can purchase annual coverage for $3,000 per traveler for $280 a person, and that would give you a year's worth of coverage
on all your trips.
Right. So it's gonna pay up to the limit. But yeah, exactly. So if you go on your trip to Cedros without a hitch and you don't use any of your benefits, then you still have all of those benefits available for the remainder of the year. As far as an individual trip, it really depends on where it differs on the individual single trip coverage is it goes by age brackets and then cost of your trip. So it's very specific for each individual traveler and also the state that they reside in.
It's better buying the annual plan.
Sometimes, but I don't always recommend it. It depends.
Oh, okay.
Like I, honestly, on some of the younger travelers, if they don't do multiple trips in a year, which not that many people don't, you know what I mean? Where you're going 100 miles or more from home in one way or another, whether that's by boat, by airplane, by train, by, it doesn't matter. Car, right. Exactly. I mean, I've had lots of people that do road trips and just want to make sure that they have benefits if they have an Airbnb booked or they have a cabin booked and something comes up at the last minute, one of them gets sick and they don't want to go. So I mean the annual plans are really a no-brainer. But
Doug, what about your side?
Well, so on the Citrix reels, what size are those reels that you have?
It's a 364, I believe.
Okay. As far as being able to put handles on at the show, definitely not. And it's possibly there would be a crossover, but more than likely we would have to special order that. So you'd probably want to do that in the shop. And definitely for calicos, it sounds like that's what you wanted to use them for. Is that correct?
I have one for calico and one for yellow. They've got good drag systems.
Okay. So I'm not that familiar with that series of reel, and that's why I asked the size. But for calicos, you definitely, to me, it's clumsy to use the paddle handle. That's, maybe a little more for bay bass fishing, but when you're outside, you might hook a yellow, barracuda, bonita, whatever. Having the power handle is probably a little easier to operate. What I would do is call our shop, typically in the morning, and try to ask for Vince.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he knows everything about every reel and what, whole size might fit your reel, or they might just have a replacement handle that's a power handle for that one.
His knowledge of exactly what you're after always blows me away. I'll get the question asked, not know myself, and holler to Vince, and he's like, well, they don't make one for this reel, but this reel has a similar handle and that whole size of the ride. So try this, and boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden you make it happen. Like he's got that absolutely wired.
That's cool. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. On the line, we have a special guest right now. We have Kelly Veach from Boat and Motor Mart, the Steiger Craft dealer. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Pete. How are you today?
Hey, doing great. Now, I hear tell you're bringing some Steiger Crafts down to the PCS show.
Yeah, buddy, we're pretty excited. We've got 3 boats that we're bringing down to the PCS, and looking forward to being back in Southern Cal, showing our boats off to great fishermen in your audience.
Yeah, for sure. I certainly love my boat, and I know George and Al were going to try and come out, but they're not going to make it. But you'll be there with your team. What boats are you bringing out?
We've got a 28 that's en route, should be there actually today. We have a 255 Deep V. I think you're familiar with that boat.
Yep.
And we have a 23 Miami coming down there. So we have 3 of our pilot houses, all little different configurations for the guys to take a look at.
Okay, now I had to wait about 8 months for my boat to be built. Can we buy these boats right now?
2 of the 3 right now are available. We got one that's in contract that just got in contract yesterday, but yeah, they're for sale, and we're looking forward to getting more out there on the water.
Yeah, for sure. So what's the deal? Okay, so what if somebody wants a specific model, custom make it like I kind of did? How do we go? We just go through you at Boat and Motor Mart, right?
Yep. So we basically represent 11 Western states, and for Al and George. Great company. We've been with them now 15 years. The deal is we will be down there with all of our spec sheets, 3 models that are our most popular selling. I would love to have gotten a 31, but I haven't been able to get I have one more coming in for the model year, and it won't be here until later on in spring, early summer. So yeah, come on in. We'll spec them out. We have enough boats on order where our lead time right now is about 6 weeks.
Wow.
So 6 to 7 weeks. So we can get usually, now that there changes because at certain times we'll outsell our model production for the year.
Sure.
And then we're backed up into maybe 3 or 4 months. But right now is a pretty good time with what we have on our fall and winter order sheets coming through.
That's pretty awesome. Well, if somebody wants more information, how do we find you at Boat and Motor Mart?
So we're located in Oakland, California. Been in business now this is our 75th year.
Whoa, is that all?
Years. Yeah, that's all. And so we're located in the, like I say, in the Bay Area. Been up here the whole time. Our phone number, if you want that for the air guys, it's 510-437-1444, and we'll be in booth 202. It's a 40 by 40 space there in the promenade with these 3 boats on display.
Well, you can't miss it. 3 beautiful Steiger Crafts, Boat and Motor Mart. Kelly and the people up there at Boat and Motor Mart are just super people to deal with, and just wonderful. And I can't say enough about my boat And the company Steigercraft, I went back and visited the factory last January. It's very, very impressive. They built each one by hand, and it's a handmade boat for not any more than what you'd buy with a off the rack boat, right?
That's very true. Al's been doing this for well over 45 years, and they're all semi-custom built, all hand built, like you say. Best lamination schedule I've ever seen on any boat we've represented, Pete. So I'm happy you've got one. I hope it's serving you well. We're really excited about being down there and showing the guys some more of our product.
All right. Well, we'll see you on Thursday at the PCS show. Boat and Motor Mark, Kelly Veach from Steigercraft. Hey, Kelly, thanks for joining us this morning. We'll see you at the show.
You've got it, buddy. Thanks for letting us in.
All right.
Appreciate it. All right, buddy.
All right. With that, we're going to find out what's biting out there. It's time for our fishdope.com report with the Angler's Realtor, Yusuf Husseini's on the line. And today, that catch report sponsored in part by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you get the premier processing experience. Check out the easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. With more team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity, the finest customer service. You can stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com and be sure you make your reservation today. And we got Yusuf on the line. Good morning, Yusuf.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing today?
Great, buddy. Good morning.
Good. All right. Well, we got a lot of the same stuff going on. That's been fights picked up a little bit. Up in Santa Monica Bay, the sand bass fishing was pretty good last night on the new Del Mar. They loaded up the boat pretty well. The halibut, pretty much everywhere, have been turning on as well. We got some dope of halibut off of Torrance in 40 to 75 feet of water up there. There is no live bait right now at MDR or King Harbor. Anything else up there is going to be sculpin or whitefish. They're actually biting pretty good as well. Same thing with Catalina. The halibut fishing is holding pretty steady and seems to be on the upswing. Bigger fish, 18 to 20 pounds. Most of this is happening near the west end and up to roughly Arrow Point and along the backside to about Lobster Bay. They're also being found in Silver Canyon to Church Rock in about 15 to 20 feet of water on the hard sand near structure. Dana Point, Oceanside, water's a little bit warmer. Bass bite seems to be a little bit better up there. Mostly evening stuff. Same deal. The halibut have turned on. Most fish coming off near the hard bottom. Down in the Del Mar area, down by us here, same thing. Halibut's the name of the game. The wrecks outside of Mission Bay have been doing pretty good. Also down near the pipe, down in the flats. Not a ton of sand bass. Most of it has been halibut. Look around 40, 80 feet of water. Find the bait. You'll find the fish. Ensenada, the yellowtail fishing was pretty good until the water rolled. But yesterday, there were still some fishing for yellowtail down there, as well as the halibut turned up near Estero Bay in about 25 to 75 feet of water. Guys down there using Mini-Max and getting kind of a mix of halibut and rockfish. Down south of there, Colonet, right now, there's no yellowtail really on the high spot, but they have been catching some monster lings. And that's it for the report.
Of course, fishdope.com has all the information. $30 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code Hookup Now. Lowercase, no space. Hookup Now is your $30 code. And Yusuf, what about that real estate market? It's starting to perk up, isn't it?
It really is. We put three new ones into escrow this past week that have just been sitting. Everywhere, everybody I talk to, for some reason, it's all turned on. Maybe a little bit of consumer confidence there, or people are just ready to move now.
Yeah,
but it's going. If you're going to be a buyer and looking for a house, go look now before the competition gets crazy, because you can still make some moves right now and negotiate and get a deal on a place.
Yeah, and of course, using Yusuf, the Angler's Realtor, is always the best thing. How do we find you? We can talk fishing and real estate with you. How do we do that?
You got it. Call me on my cell phone at 619-277-2169. You can also get me on social media at Cal Realty. You can get me on my website at sportsmansrealty.com. You can also get a free home evaluation at SoCalHomeEval.com.
And are we going to see you at the PCS show?
Yes, sir. I'll be in the Fish Dope booth the whole time. I'm sure I'll come by and razz you and Rick for a little while.
All right.
Look
Sounds
forward to it,
great,
buddy.
Joseph. Good to hear from you, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thanks.
All right, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more texts, and a whole lot more with Kristy and Doug. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice, on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. We have always been the leader with all-inclusive fishing trips to Cedros Island. We now have 2 lodges to choose from, and both sit on the cliff's edge with relaxing ocean views and gorgeous morning sunrises. With direct flights departing to the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. Call me at 619-772-7570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
The PCS show is coming, and we will have our best booth at the show. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Check us out in the wildly popular saltwater building at the PCS show in Costa Mesa, where we will have some amazing deals for you on rods, reels, lures, and clothing. Everything at the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth will be on sale. And as always, our expert staff will help you select that perfect setup for the fish you want to pursue. For saltwater tackle at the PCS show, your best stop is the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Quintin, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Whether you're fly fishing, bottom fishing, net fishing, or just sitting on the water thinking about fishing, remember, a good day on the water starts with everyone wearing a life jacket. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning, talking so much great fishing, travel, insurance, PCS shows. We're having a great time. And boy, I want to remind you, today sponsored in part by a great friend, Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature Charge. Focus your fishing in the most productive areas by using Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature, chlorophyll, currents, and more. With Terrafin Mobile, you can access your charge on the phone or any mobile device. Check Terrafin.com for more information. It's been a very busy show.
And they're going to be at the show. Terrafin will be at the show. You know that the guys at Terrafin, and they're going to always have a show special too. So just go by the Terrafin booth and make sure you dial up your renew your membership at a special show price, or just if you don't have it, you got to have it.
It's the thing that we see every sport boat captain every night checking their water chart before they go out in the evening. I mean, it is a no doubt. Or the landing put a special computer in just for those guys checking water charts. I mean, it's that big of a deal.
That's big a deal. Hey, you want to get through this? The first time all morning a line's been open. 833-288-0973. Jeff's standing by to take your phone calls. You want to get through? There's your chance.
All right, let's jump back into the text this time. I got a great text that says, hey guys, a longtime listener. My question's for Doug. Will you have any United Composites deals at the show? I'm really looking for the new 10E jig rod. That's from Brock in Rolling Hills.
Brock in Rolling Hills. Did you used to live on King Arthur Court?
It did say Rolling Hills High.
Text, yeah.
Oh, it's a text. Well, he can't answer that question.
Can't answer that.
He lived across the street from
No
me.
way.
That's funny.
I'm almost positive. So anyway, and yes, we do have the 1000E. We chose the cream of the crop of the UC rods. We put a pretty darn healthy discount on those. For instance, that 1000 is normally $639. We've got it for $509.95, and as well a bunch of other 10-foot jig sticks. So yeah, if this is indeed Brock and you come by the show, be sure and say hi.
All right.
You know, the one thing, and again, he's picked a great jig stick. That 10E from United Composites is a great rod, but. And again, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I love that rod, and I think you'd be making a great choice. But the beauty of coming to the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth is don't have your mind set up on any jig rod. You know, don't have your mind set up on that. Don't have your mind set on the new CalStar. Don't have your mind set on the new Seeker. Like, come to the booth, grab one of the guys that's just crazy about surface iron fishing, which is virtually every one of the boys behind the counter, and just say, look, I'm looking for a new jig rod. Give me the rundown. And they're going to give you all the highlights of that United Composite that he's talking about, the new CalStars, the old CalStars, the Seekers. I mean, there's a lot of really good options. And that's the best part about coming to the show is, you know, everything's going to be available, and you're going to get a total expert at the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth to just dial it down for you. This is the thing, because it might be a little bit different if he's fishing sport boat more or private boat less, or going to Baja or using it to fish big bluefins. I mean, there's a lot of options in long rods these days. And the kids that we have working behind the counter, there's no one better in the world.
Yeah, you guys are surfing iron junkies.
Well, and I love that he's kind of keyed in on a 10-foot jig stick, because I clung to my 90J for all those years, thinking, well, 10-foot jig stick's just too much. And when I finally converted over to 10-foot, it's actually easier to throw your jig. You don't have to try and force it out there. You get less backlashes. That's just me, and I know that the 9-foot is what most people are comfortable with. But and especially when they're in the tackle store, and we have a 14-foot ceiling, and they feel like they're being compressed that way. But if you get on a boat and throw a 9-foot jig stick versus a 10-foot, I'll bet you'll find the 10-foot's easier to work with.
There you go. Let's jump back on the phones. You want to get through 833-288-0973.
Well, line 2's got Hills from Ventura on the line. Good morning, Hills. What's going on? Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Man, it's windy in Ventura, I'll tell you that. I had 2 questions for all you guys.
I'll bet your wind chimes are blowing, huh? Like that?
Look at you.
Now we have sound effects. Okay.
It's gonna be trouble
where's
for me, buddy.
Where's the clicker of the reel?
Oh, we got that too. Yeah. You want to hear that?
I do.
All right.
Nice.
Gotta love it.
All right.
It's so fitting, because Hills is the only person who calls usually with his own sound effects. If you pay attention, about 3/4 of the time that Hills is calling, he's in the surf and surf fishing, and he calls from the earbuds, and you can hear the surf cracking in the background on about half of Hills' calls.
Right.
There. What's up, Hills?
I think Doug's white sea bass tree, all the petals have blown off it by now. Well, or they soon will be. But so I have 2 questions. One for Doug: is the species of your white sea bass tree actually an ornamental pear?
It's a fruitless pear tree, and technically I call it the yellowtail tree. And I went out there yesterday and looked, and the buds are forming, but there's not even one flower on there yet. And usually you'll start seeing, maybe 3% of the flowers starting to push. And really, until it gets pretty far along in the process, I don't consider it time to go yet. But, I just feel like if we get another warm stretch for a week or 10 days, because this last stretch that we had is when the buds started forming. And I've had that tree for 25 years. And there are some years when we have odd cold weather that it just turns into leaves. We don't ever get the blooms. But when we get the white blooms in all its glory, it is definitely time to go yellowtail fishing. So, and there's a little bit of yellowtail around on the coast, but doesn't seem like it really wants to bite yet. But I wouldn't be surprised, usually about the middle to the end of this month is when we see it. But I've seen it in full white bloom, like beautiful, in February, and the yellow's bit in February. So
it's been uncanny. Like, I mean, really, like,
yeah.
Even when Doug will be like, well, I'm just surprised it finally missed, the tree's full bloom and, there's no yellowtail. And then like 2 or 3 kids from the shop be like, man, we haven't been trying to say anything, but we've been going the last 3 days in La Jolla and it's been surface iron yellowtail. Like the tree knows, man. It's on.
Tree knows.
That's it.
Hey, Hills, we'll see you at the show.
You start marketing that tree.
You sell them in the tackle shop.
Exactly.
Get your yellowtail tree.
Yeah, they can pay a subscription to see a picture of the tree.
Go ahead, Hills.
Sorry about that.
One thing I wanted to ask Doug is, Captain Franklin Presti was slow to go to, as he calls it, fluorocarbon. And now he admitted he bought his first spinning reel a couple weeks back. I'm wondering, has he tried a Stella like these guys that are catching the 700-pound bluefin back east?
I'm going to guess no. There are a lot of our long-range fishermen that do use a Stella. And it definitely will work, but it's not as maybe sport boat friendly as it is private boat friendly. You can't lay a spinning reel on the rail, or you can snap your line off. And they don't hold maybe quite as much line. With a private boat, if you have to, you can run a fish down. On a sport boat, you've got 5 hookups, and so you're going to be stationary. So the gear is perfectly capable of handling the fish, but it's not as sport boat friendly. So my guess, and I'm pretty sure of this, is that he doesn't fish a Stella or doesn't have a Stella. He's probably going to be pretty traditional on the Royal Polaris.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the call, Hills. I have a great, a really interesting question from Norman in San Diego. It's for Kristy. Insurance question. I have for many years and still have an annual executive travel insurance plan from your firm. I'm now interested in a cancel for any reason policy. What plans do you have for this coverage, and are the premiums, and what are the types and premiums? Are they substantially more than the standard executive plan?
Great question. So you said Stella?
It's Norman.
Oh, Norman. Sorry, Norman.
Stella was the name of the reel.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's all I could think of. Sorry, Norman.
She's the name of the reel.
Right.
Norman's the name of the guy. Yeah.
Right. Great question. So the cancel for any reason plans are available on single trip only coverage. They are not available on annual plans. And where they differ is so for an example, for a standard classic single trip plan versus a cancel for any reason classic plan, it's about 50% more in cost, and you get 80% reimbursement for a cancel for any reason claim. So if you just decide like the fish aren't biting and you don't want to go, that's what you would use cancel for any reason coverage for.
So is it double?
It's about 50% more.
50% more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Not that much more, really. Think about it.
On the single trip plan, depends on your age bracket. Because again, those are
you
not.
can't get an annual plan on a
Correct.
cancel
You
for any
cannot.
reason.
No, they're not available.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Very good. Rick, you have a good one?
Yeah, it's a very quick one and easy. He says, hey guys, I'm dying to get my hands on some of those JJ jigs at the show. We can't find them anywhere up north. Are you going to have them? And is there going to be a deal? That's from Scott in El Segundo.
So the easy answer is yes and yes. The JJ is one of those sand cast style jigs where if you pick through, let's put it this way, they all swim. They're all at least an 8 out of 10. But some of them are ridiculously exceptional because they're not exactly the same. There are some slight little variances. And when you latch onto that good one, I always mark my good jigs with a hook from another jig, and I put 3 little stripes on the nose. That's like, those are the ones you don't want to use when it's a barracuda bite, and you may not want to use when you're close to the kelp and there's a bunch of sea lions, because you might lose it. But those are the ones that get bit. And that's the thing I like about the JJ is that the jig swims and it'll catch you a yellowtail no matter which one you get, but some of them are going to be absolutely exceptional.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks a lot for that text. I got to talk about the Let's Talk Hookup booth again.
Nice.
Because and you're on the board of directors for Rollo too. This is such an important time to raise money to take kids fishing.
Right. Absolutely.
And I'm going to be totally honest with you. Rollo needs your help. We are down in funds. Donations are down. And we're not going to be able to send as many kids fishing unless you pony up and help us out. And there's going to be several opportunities to do that at the PCS show. Rollo will have a great booth, the Spin the Wheel booth. They'll also be selling the annual raffle tickets. They'll also have the bats and rod giveaway. The rods will be given away at Day at the Docks. So there's several opportunities to give to Rollo. And then at our booth, Let's Talk Hookup booth, we're going to be selling raffle tickets for a special raffle that it includes a Talica 12, a Torium, and a Coast of Paris sunglasses, and a 2-day trip on the Polaris Supreme in April. So it's a special separate raffle that will be given for only the tickets we sell at PCS in our booth. And if you buy 20 tickets for $100, you get a Gamakatsu duffel, a really nice Gamakatsu duffel too. So please help us out. Please help Rollo. Go to the Rollo booth, come to our booth, and give as much as you can to help take kids.
I love
fishing.
that. And you're not taking any money out of your own pocket. You're just doing this to make some more money for Rollo.
100% of the money goes to Rollo.
Great
And
job.
got to thank Tommy P. and Wayne for crediting where credit's due. They came up with the idea to do that. And we're going to have Let's Talk Hookup hats for sale for $15. We're basically going to sell them for what we pay for them. So we'll have those. We'll have brand new stickers, 2 different types of stickers, including a brand new sticker. And I'll be there. Dave will be there. Tommy will be there. Wayne will be there. So come on by the booths. We're right next to Queen Charlotte Safaris, right next to Valerie there, or Haida Safaris, we should say now. And we're right across from the Bats and Rod building booth. So I can't miss that. In the main hall, which is the Costa Mesa Hall, which is right next to where Shimano is.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Here it is.
and we'll come visit you guys over in the other booth.
You mean the good
Yeah.
building?
The good building. Well, no, I think the Costa Mesa building is actually the good building, but you know,
It's pretty good.
yeah, we'll see.
No bias.
They're
no
all,
bias.
you know what? They're all good.
They are.
They're all good. The Los Alamitos just happens to be better. That's all. Yeah, they're all good.
They're all
For sure.
good.
Yeah.
They're all good for sure. All right. Hey, I have another great text here too that is super good, and it's directed again at Kristy. A lot of you popular lady there. Mike and Rosemead asked, if I'm in some minute corner of the world, a primitive corner of the world, and I need hospitalization, you flash your insurance card and they don't honor it, they demand money. How do you get out of that bind if you have the travel insurance?
Mike, that's a great question. So on your travel insurance card, if you're getting it from me anyhow, that it has an 800 number inside and outside the US. If they contact, they will guarantee up to the amount on that. Now, I have had instances where for time's sake, before they can, because some of these remote places,
won't touch you unless you get
right,
money.
exactly. You can put it up on, a credit card or whatever the case is, depending on where you're at. But the insurance company will reimburse you for that
Okay.
up to.
So if you have to lay out the cash,
right,
and you have the executive plan, they'll reimburse you.
right. But if you do call that outside the U.S. number, they actually have liaisons there that will coordinate with them. But there are certain cases. I mean, we can't control every hospital everywhere, and so they do business how they do business.
Yeah.
So sometimes that has happened, but again, you have that coverage, so you can get reimbursed.
There you go.
That's it. All right. Hey, we had another great text come through. It says, good morning, guys. I'm heading to PCS on Saturday. I wanted to know how it works from Doug. Will you have similar inventory every day? Meaning, will you have some that's set aside for each day? Or does it first come, first serve? I can't wait to see everybody next weekend. Sounds like some amazing deals. That's from Sean in Blossom Valley.
Yep. So we do our employee meeting after the previous year, and we discuss what sold and what to bring more of and what to bring less of. And we try our hardest to make sure that we have enough inventory to get through the show. With that said, there could be certain items that would sell out. I don't think it's going to be that widespread, but the first day is your best chance to get, a shot at 100% of the inventory. Sometimes, for whatever reason, a certain item is hotter than hot. We do work closely with the manufacturers. Some of these manufacturers can resupply us on a daily basis. We also make a run to the store every day to fill in items that we might be getting close to selling out on. So there's a pretty darn good chance that when you show up on Saturday, we're going to have 90% of it, but there could be just some crazy hot item that was in limited supply, and we could run out.
There it is. Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out who's going to the PCS show, as well as doing a full day trip on board the Liberty for Let's Talk Hookup, coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook, YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Hey everyone, James Holst here with Norsk Lithium, the official battery partner of Let's Talk Hookup. Here at Norsk Lithium, we have two goals that drive who we are and what we do. The first is to make the highest quality, longest lasting lithium batteries available with a complete lineup of batteries that include 12, 24, 36 volt and starting batteries. Second, in addition to offering a 10-year warranty on all Norsk Lithium marine batteries, we provide amazing customer service before and after the sale. Check us out online at norsklithium.com. That's NORSK lithium.com, or call us at 831-232-9063. Or to see Norsk Lithium batteries in person, stop by the Trolling Motor Doctor in Lakewood or Anglers Marine in Anaheim and see why Norsk Lithium batteries should be in your boat.
No matter where the adventure takes you, we've got you powered. Norsk Lithium.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America and certainly number one with anglers. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining build Ford tough and never settling. But what really made Ford F-Series number one is you. So now is the time to take advantage of great deals and programs today. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today and explore the F-Series and the full truck lineup. They'll be glad to hook you up. This year, make reliable boating your resolution and back it with exhilarating deals with a new Yamaha outboard during Yamaha's New Year, New Reliability sales event. From now until March 31st, 2025, purchase a new eligible Yamaha 450 to 30 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of coverage protection. Looking to hit the water with lower horsepower? There's a deal for you too. Purchase a new Yamaha 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboard and receive up to $200 in dealer credit toward the purchase of additional goods and services. Don't miss this limited time offer. Visit your local Yamaha dealer today. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offer ends March 31st, 2025, subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models exclude 24-month Yamaha extended service added to a 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 24-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealer for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
Get ready for the most exciting outdoor show of the year, the giant 15th annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Tackle Boat and Travel Show, March 6th to the 9th at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Check out hundreds of sport fishing exhibitors, manufacturers, tackle dealers, fishing boats, and fishing resorts taking up all 7 halls at the fairgrounds. 217,000 square feet, plus fantastic seminars and free kids trout pond. Backed by popular demand, the PCS show also has freshwater to cover bass and trout. Learn from some of the top names in the sport fishing industry, from catching giant bluefin, swordfish, calico bass, and more. Take advantage of incredible show specials from major tackle retailers and boat dealers. Talk to the top fishing travel destinations. 4 full days, Thursday, March 6th to Sunday, March 9th. The 15th annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Tackle, Boat, and Travel Show at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Don't miss it.
Hi, this is Kristy Wheeler with Dawson & Associates Insurance, your full-service agency specializing in boat insurance, including charter, commercial, and personal use boats, business insurance, and travel insurance. We work hard to get you the most coverage for the best prices and guarantee the lowest rates available on all the travel plans we offer. So give us a call today at Dawson & Associates Insurance at 619-460-5615 for a free quote today.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Okay, it's time to find out who's got a full day trip on board the Liberty and 2 tickets to the PCS show. Doug's going to do us the honors, the caller or texter coin.
All right.
Let her rip. All right. Today we have a texter. Congratulations, Brock in Rolling Hills. You are going to the PCS show. Congratulations. And you're going to really enjoy fishing on the Liberty.
All right, Doug, we'll see you at the PCS show. And you didn't even cover a portion of the, you only checked off like four
check
out of,
marks on a 10 page. Yeah.
I know. I was looking at that list going, wow.
I think everybody gets the gist, and everybody that's come to shows and dealt with us before. I mean, we have a great, variety selection. The prices are compelling, and our guys, I'll just there's none better than our guys to get with to make sure you buy the right items.
We'll see you at the show. Kristy, how do we find you?
You can find us on online at drinsure.com or call our office 619-460-5615.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you wandering around the show, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
See you there.
Thanks to Jeff for manning the phones at the fan. Thanks to Adam for all he does on the Let's Talk Hookup app. We'll be back next Saturday. Ron Lane from Fast Lane Kayaks and his son Jared from Salty will be here with them too. And then next Sunday, Captain Tim Ekstrom from the Royal Star. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you next week right back here on 97.3 The Fan, YouTube, Facebook Live, and the Let's Talk Hookup app.